welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. Now, if you're new, I don't want you to feel left out. WIP stands for Work in Progress. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting project today, and Chat just means that I'm going to be chatting your ear off for the next hour or so. So feel free to grab a project to work alongside me if you like. Grab a snack, grab a cup of coffee, and settle in. We'll catch up this Monday morning or whatever day and time that it is as you're watching. I am filming on Sunday night, as I usually am, and just kind of coming out of the weekend, getting ready to start my new week, and this is really my favorite way to be able to do that. So look for weekly WIP and Chats here on my channel every Monday morning, unless something comes up schedule-wise, which happens every once in a while. And I do have a playlist of WIP and Chats over the past almost 5 years at this point, if you would like to go back and listen to my backlog and see, I don't know, just kind of if you want some company while you're working. I know I like to have a playlist that I'll just hit play and let it roll. So that's something you can do if you like. What I'm going to be working on today, diamond painting wise, is actually kitting up my next project, which is going to be, it's called Stars and Whiskers in English, or Estrellas y Bigotes in Spanish, which I don't speak any Spanish. The only language I learned in school was French, which is of course very useful where I live in Southern California. But this is going to be the first kit that I work on from Mood. So new to me small shop, super stoked to get to work on a kit from a new to me shop, and this is a really cute image. I'm excited for this one. The artist is Daria LV Fox, and this is gonna be 50 by 70-ish, so we'll see. A little bit bigger than I might normally gravitate towards for like my first kit from a new to me shop, but I feel like the materials and everything look promising enough in terms of quality that I'm hoping it's gonna be fun. So I did unbox this kit on my channel a couple months ago, I think. So if you want to see the unboxing, I will do my best to remember to have that linked below. But I'll give you a little peek here. I think that there's a sticker sheet in here, but it's so cute. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. So yeah, here's the sticker sheet. There's a better look at the original artwork and these big old stickers. This has 80 colors, a lot of colors in this one. I'm gonna try to be ready. I grabbed a bunch of Elizabeth Ward storage containers, and we're just gonna hope that I can cobble it together. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit all the diamonds in just one tray. I think I'm gonna need to do like one tray plus this half-size tray. So I'm just going to pull out these diamonds and see what happens. Sometimes I try to really map it out so that I can figure out exactly how much I'm gonna have and make it work real nice and neat, and that's just not what's gonna happen today. I don't have my life that together this week. So let's see. Okay. Kind of get these situated. And how do I want to go about this? I want to be able to have access to all these different containers. And of course, yes, I could have done this ahead of time, but did I? No. Elizabeth Ward storage containers. These are absolutely my storage containers of choice. I just love how easily customizable they are. They are so easy to just stack and go. So these I just affectionately refer to as my ride or die. Yeah, if I could only use one storage system for the rest of my diamond painting days, it would be Elizabeth Ward storage. So let me just kind of make some space, and we'll see what size containers I end up really needing to use as we go along. But I will have this kit linked below. I do have a discount code you can use. I think it's one-time use, and it is something I may make a kickback on, so no pressure. Mood is located overseas in Spain, if you're in the States like me, but they ship really quickly. I like the tubes that they ship in a lot, actually, and I'm excited to actually work on one of their kits and be able to report back on what the quality is like. So they come in resealable bags, so if you wanted to, you could just really avoid kitting up and just use the resealable bags, but especially a kit that has this many colors, I would really rather have them in like a tray in front of me that I can pull from. I think it'll work better for my brain. But you guys will have to let me know. I know some of you really do enjoy working just out of baggies, and it's if you love it, I love it for you. But yeah, I will 9 times out of 10, unless it's a really, really small kit, I will kit up into storage containers about every time. But yeah, these are resin diamonds and they're in Ziploc bags. So we are looking at static. So I'm gonna grab a dryer sheet to kind of pour my diamonds into. This is a trick that I first saw from Lena, Library of Diamonds. And at first I wasn't really able to make it work super well for me. And now it's something I will always do to combat static, which is just pouring the drills straight into an open dryer sheet and sometimes just kind of sifting them around a little bit and then pouring them into a storage container. And it just tends to really, really help dispel the static to a point that I rarely even need to put a separate dryer sheet square in the container, but if the static is really stubborn, you totally could. But I don't have like a separate thing to put these in. That's fine. I'm just gonna create a big old pile over there, and that'll be future Katie's problem. But anyway, hi friends, how are you doing today? I hope that you had a really nice weekend. If it is hot summer weather where you are, I hope that you are staying nice and cool and beating the heat a bit. It has been very, very warm this week, so I have wanted to just stay inside as much as physically possible. And not doing as much diamond painting because I'm trying to baby my shoulder a little bit because I strained or injured it in some way, but still just generally finding ways to stay cool inside. Yeah, that's static. No, thank you. You can also breathe into the bag. Like imagine the kind of breath that you would do if you're trying to fog up like a mirror or a glass or something. Just like introducing moisture and that'll do the trick. So this kit, like I said, is my first from Diamood, and I had it narrowed down to this kit and the dog and the dragon, also from the shop, and put it up for a vote in my Patreon, which I do have a Patreon if you're interested in supporting my channel and getting some perks. And occasionally I'll do things like have them help me decide what kit to work on next. And so I basically was like, are you team cats or team dogs? And it was neck and neck for a while, and then the cat kit won by like 4 votes, so it was close, which I don't blame people for having a hard time deciding because the dog kit was really, really cute too. Do I think this one is going to fit in the smaller container? Let's find out, shall we? The dog one was a little bit smaller and is apparently fan art from a Brandon Sanderson, is it from a short story, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I think I'll probably get to that kit at some point. But I wanted to, I don't know, I didn't have super strong feelings of which of the two I wanted to work on, so I was like, I'll put it up for a vote. I am, though, still, of course, working on a Summer with the Masters kit for July. It's right here, I can show you my progress. I decided to work on this little baby kit from Make Market. This is my first time working on just the official plain Starry Night kit. And this is the version from Make Market that comes with the wooden magnetic hangers that you put that are on either end and then it hangs. I did the Almond Blossom version of this. It was like the same size, same concept last year and really liked it a lot. So I just wanted a small Old Masters kit to do this month because I didn't know how much diamond painting I was really going to do with trying to scale it back with my shoulder and stuff. And so I thought, let me just go with basically the smallest kit that I have. And I also knew that I wanted to work on a round drill kit because I just came off of a really large square drill kit. And also knew that I wanted to go ahead and get another kit going and had already kind of had in mind that I wanted to do my first Diamood kit. Knew that both of these kits were squares. And I'm one of those people that I do like to have both drill shapes in my life. And if I've worked on a lot of square drill kits or like big square drill kits, I find myself really then wanting to work on some round drill kits to mix it up. So basically, long story short, I knew that I was going to be working on a couple of square drill kits already. And I thought, well, let me do a round drill kit, something small. That basically fit the bill. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on like allergies wise lately, but I just thoroughly dusted and vacuumed the house earlier, so maybe I just kicked up a little bit. I don't know, but I just have been feeling kind of sneezy lately. Excuse me. Or maybe I'm coming down with something. Hopefully not though. But so yeah, I just finished the A New Hope Star Wars panel. I just had a brief moment where I was like, wait, is that the right name of the movie? I feel so brain dead. I feel so fried at the moment that I'm like, wait, is that right? The first of the original trilogy Star Wars big panels that Diamond Art Club released. I did finish that a few days ago, and that was actually really fun to work on. I wasn't sure if the amount of color blocking in it was going to burn me all the way out, and it didn't actually. The one thing I did find myself running into, which I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned this last week as I was working on it, but that square drill field is pretty snug, and multi-placing and trying to squeeze in those ABs sometimes was a little bit, I don't know, not ideal when I'm trying not to push too hard, use that muscle in my right arm too much. But it helped when I just laid down the ABs first, basically, and fit in the other drills around them, and that seemed to help a little bit. But I love how it turned out. And the way that it was tempting to go ahead and just kit up the next panel, super, super, super tempting. But I was like, no. I want to mix it up with the shops that I'm working on kits from and stuff like that. And I was pretty sure that I wouldn't have another really large square drill kit in me that quickly. But that was really fun to work on. And I do really hope that Diamond Art Club, where did that light purple drill go? Just disappeared. I hope that they decide to release the the prequel and sequel trilogy panels too, because they have the same art style and stuff available. It'd be really fun to see. So I think I'll do a post review on that one. I have several post reviews I need to film. I have a few Elizabeth Ward storage containers with the drills still kitted up in them from kits that I haven't done post review videos on that I might still. So I should really get on that so I could free up those Elizabeth Ward containers if nothing else. I am curious to hear from you guys if you're so inclined to share feedback. But do you, generally speaking, prefer post-review videos that are just, it's just a review? It's just, here's the completed kit, let's talk about it. Or do you like some of the videos I've been playing around with a little bit more lately where I have done an unboxing to review style video where it's start to finish, where it's unboxing it, sharing initial thoughts, and then sometimes time-lapsing bits of working on it. I don't know. What have you guys found yourself enjoying if you've watched both? Depending on the kit, for example, that Starry Night kit that I'm doing for Summer with the Masters, I kind of just I didn't feel like filming an unboxing part of that, and I don't really feel like filming time-lapse bits as I work on it. I kind of just want to work on it and not make it work. As in, I don't have to overthink working on it, I guess. And so sometimes it's I'm just not going to have that extra material, but I don't know. I've been really interested to hear feedback on what you guys are enjoying the most, because I don't know, it's fun to try new things, but I also am curious to hear what you actually enjoy watching. Man, the static in this one. So stay tuned for some post-review videos I will hopefully get to soon. Oh, we were so quiet for the beginning of this video. Neighbor's doggo says hello. And then what else has been going on? Generally speaking, I was just thinking about how I haven't worked on as many small shop kits, or new to me, specifically new to me small shop kits this year as I would have liked. And I think part of that is sort of trying to find a good balance between working on kits that I really, really love and artwork that I'm drawn to. And also, a lot of small shops have closed their doors in the past years, and even this year specifically. And so there are fewer small shops around. And I also have just heard some nightmare stories of people that have had problems with a couple of small shops that have made me a little bit wary to give, super brand new to me shops to try until I'm I don't know, it's weird. But I also have been in the kind of financial situation where my ability to shop and to spend has been extraordinarily limited this year. And so that also makes things a little bit tricky too. But that said, I'm really, really happy to be working on this one and hoping that as the year goes on, I do have some kits in my stash from, I think I have a few kits that are from companies that I haven't actually worked on kits from them before. And so I'll see if I can, get around to those and still be able to share some new things here. If you guys missed it, today, Sunday, is when our Drills and Chills official announcement videos finally went live. Lindsay and I both had a video go up on, we'll each had a video go up on our respective channels. So all the official info is out there. It's pretty similar to past years. I don't know, there's ways I tried to streamline it a little bit and make it as, easy to understand and as simple as possible, because I don't want it to be a huge headache for people to be able to join in on. This, I don't know if it's going to fit in this size. We might need the next size up, but let's try it and see. I don't know. I'm skeptical. We'll find out. So yes, Drills and Chills announcement video is up. Really excited for that. If you have a small shop and you're interested in sponsoring, you can either contact me directly and I can send you, there's a form that just helps us kind of capture all that info in one spot. Or that the sponsor interest form is also linked in the announcement video. So you could take a look at that if you're interested. And there's some shops I do want to reach out to. I don't want to put any small shops in a tight spot because I know that stuff is really, really hard for small shops right now. And so there's like never any pressure whatsoever, but it's like, just in case there's shops that, would want to, but not necessarily didn't think to like fill out the form, then there's a few I want to reach out to, maybe get some on theme kind of products for the event. That would be really fun if we were able to do that. So excited for Drills and Chills though. It's the 7th year for this event and is my 5th year hosting. And I'm already thinking ahead to what projects I might want to work on. Though I'm sure that there are going to be some companies coming out with fall kits that may throw a wrench in things. I'm guessing, I have no insider info here, but I am guessing that we'll have a Diamond Art Club fall and Halloween drop at some point. I know that Diamond Art Studio UK had some pre-orders available for some of their fall and Halloween kits that they're coming out with, and I think I might want to try to work on one of those this year. So, and there's other small shops too that I'm sure are going to be doing really fun things with fall and Halloween season, even if it's not like officially Drills and Chills themed, which is completely fine. I'm just excited for all things cozy and spooky. The summer weather is not my favorite. Go ahead and just fast track me to fall weather and I'll be a happy camper. But speaking of holiday drops, I don't know if you guys did any shopping or checked out Diamond Art Club's Christmas holiday drop that happened this past week. I really loved the Marigona Suli kit that I had. And between that one and the one that was in the mystery box last year that I was lucky enough to get in my mystery box, I am going to have a hard time deciding. I feel like I'm going to want to work on one of those this year. There's so much fun detail to those pieces. Oh man. I didn't actually shop any of the kits in the holiday drop. None of them were must-haves for me besides the one I was really, really fortunate to have as a sneak peek. The Mrs. Butter D ones were really pretty, but not, I don't know, there's others by that artist that were in voting that I'm hoping may still be like in the pipeline. Yeah, that's not going to fit in that one. That I'm hoping might still be in the like production pipeline, and maybe we'll still see them, because I have to imagine these are not the only Christmas and holiday kits we're going to see before the holidays. If past years are any indication, we're going to see just them mixed in intermittently with weekend releases leading up to the holidays too. So I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope for a couple of the others that I really, really loved. We'll see though. If not, I have plenty of Christmassy and wintry kits to work on this year, even if there were no other holiday releases that called my name. And then what else? Christmas in July drop. Oh, I know some of you were side-eyeing me a little bit with the sneak peek that I had this past week. I think I mentioned as much in last week's WIP and Chat, where I was like, you guys, I know this sneak peek that I have this week, it's not a cry for help. it's just nothing that released this past weekend was like must have for me, which is fine. That there's some weeks that are like that with well, not just Diamond Art Club, but any shop that does regular release. Like, well, maybe it's just not my taste. So the one that I did have was the hot air balloons one, and it did give me slight fantasy vibes with the floating islands and like the complete like ring of a rainbow and stuff. And it reminded me very much of some like Ravensburger puzzles that I remember doing as a kid. And so it tapped into a little bit of that nostalgia for me. So, but no, I know anytime there's anything like a landscape on my channel, you guys are like, are you okay? Do we need to do a wellness check? It's, if you love landscapes, I love it for you, genuinely. But historically, there have been very, very, very few landscapes that I have enjoyed working on. Exceptions have been kits by the McNeil Studio, which the McNeil Studio hasn't been licensed at Diamond Art Club for a few years now, which is such a shame. But I have a couple of landscapes from them in my like rainy day stash, actually, because I just like cabin. Oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful kit. And there's like one Chuck Pinson that I remembered actually genuinely really enjoying working on. My first year of diamond painting, Hope Runs Deep. Gorgeous kit. I actually loved working on that one. But then there are other like landscape pieces and cityscapes where I like hated every second of it. And I don't always know what is going to be the deciding factor. Like what is going to make the difference between me hating working on it and me being like, oh no, actually this was very nice. So I don't know. Is anyone else like that, where there's a specific genre of artwork, but that just as a rule you don't usually enjoy working on, but there are exceptions? And if so, what are those exceptions? Because I think that kind of thing is really fascinating. Like, are you the kind of person that's like, I don't do any portraits, but if it were this particular situation, like this artist or this style, then yeah, I would be all about it. I don't know, maybe something old, tastes change over time. Who knows? Maybe 5 years from now, I will be a total landscape girly and will have destashed all the portraits in my collection. Now that, I have a hard time believing that though. That would be a wild change, but I guess never say never. So yeah, that's kind of just like diamond painting stuff. I was also going to say about my drills and chills video, I sat there and wondered, do I do just kind of like an overhead video where it's just hands and I just talk about drills and chills that way as an announcement video, or do I go ahead and just like show my face and just chat with the camera? And the more that I do those like face videos, the more confidence I feel like I gain, because those first several face videos, I was really, I don't know, I was very insecure, which is, it's not a super cute quality, but I just felt very, like I would have a really hard time if trolls or anyone kind of showed up in the comments and was commenting on my physical appearance. That would be really difficult for me. But knock on wood, I haven't had any of that. Like on a single face video I've done, which I've done several, I think, since the beginning of this year. And I'm really glad for that. I like to think that that's not the audience that I draw, but you guys that are watching this video, I'm sure that's none of you would ever dream. That's something we don't do in the year of our Lord 2025. We don't comment on people's appearance, right? Like that's just not a thing we do, right? But some of these people out here on the internet weren't raised right. So, yeah, so I don't know. It was fun to do a face video and just chat with you guys that way. I like connecting with people that way a little bit more too. So, yeah, there was that. Shoulder update, because I know I've complained about it a couple of times here. I am still waiting on my referral for physical therapy to get authorized by insurance. It has not been approved yet. I do go in and check my patient portal like 2 to 3 times a day. I said something to my therapist about this. I'm a huge proponent of talk therapy. This is a place where it is okay to not be okay, and mental health is super important here, and I will always encourage you to do what you need to take care of your mental health, and there's not a stigma attached to that here. But yes, so I'm currently in weekly talk therapy, and I just mentioned in passing to my therapist, 'cause I was just talking about stressors and stuff, and I mentioned, I'm waiting on this referral to get authorized by insurance. I'm waiting to see if our insurance renewal, like I'm waiting for them to process like our paperwork and stuff for that to see if that's going to go through or not. And I say, I'm just checking in a few times a day to see, if that's gone through. And she's like, a few times a day? She just looked at me, a few times a day. I was just like, yeah. She said, I don't know if that's necessarily helpful. That may be just a representation of just sort of how your anxiety is like manifesting and how you're feeling right now. And I was like, you're not wrong. But I tried to downplay it a little bit. I was like, it's not like I'm calling someone. It's like, all I have to do is I just like log into my patient portal on my phone. It only takes like 15 seconds to just check and see, is it there? She's like, yeah, but still. I was like, well, you're not wrong, but also I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's something I'm going to stop doing right now. Because that's not where I'm at right now. But my shoulder it's better, I think, because I've been really intentional about resting it. The ice is helping a lot. I am mainly actually using one of the caps that I keep in the freezer for when I get migraines. Oh my gosh, by the way, if you get migraines, these are just a lifesaver. They're wonderful. But it's just like this really soft, flexible, like head cap thing that has like a gel in it that you put it in the freezer, and it's really malleable, and it's really perfect for sort of like draping and folding around, so it kind of hits various points on my shoulder. And so I've been using that, just in lieu of buying anything else. And we don't have an ice maker attached to our refrigerator, so it would be more of a headache to do like bags of ice or something like that. So I have a couple of those migraine caps in the freezer anyway that I can rotate between. So they usually stay cold for 15 or 20 minutes. So I'll just put one on my shoulder and lay down with it. And by the time it isn't cold anymore, it's probably time for me to be giving a break from ice anyway. So that's helping. Advil for the inflammation has been helping. And I think just doing less diamond painting has been helping too. I did try to sit down. This was a couple weeks ago. I was trying to sit down and write out the thank you notes for the quarterly gifts that I do for one of my Patreon tiers. And I like to handwrite those thank you notes and personalize them and stuff. And I was like, I got like halfway into one of those cards. And I was like, I can't do this. Like handwriting like this is too much strain. So I ended up just doing a quick little design on Canva for like some just little thank you postcard type things to put in instead of handwriting. But yeah, I'm just basically trying to baby it, not like lift anything heavy, because that motion seems to put some strain on it, and just hoping in the meantime that physical therapy does get approved, because I would like to, I don't know, I want to make sure that I'm actually figuring out what happened, like what the injury is, and targeting it to help it heal, especially if something like this were to happen again. So, fingers crossed. I'm glad that rest and ice and Advil have helped, but I just am still thinking long term. I want to make sure I'm taking care of my body. And gosh, next year's retreat, I'm gonna be so careful. I'm gonna be so cautious. Like, okay, I'm only gonna diamond paint for like in small bits and spurts. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna stretch. I'll go bug Elisa for some exercises, since she's a PT. I'll be like, okay, this is where I'm having pain. Help me. Give me some exercises. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't like the fact that I managed to injure myself doing this craft that I love. So I don't want that to happen again. But yeah, as I was kind of talking about mental health a few minutes ago, it really is just bringing to mind, like, can I just be completely real with you guys? Like, I've had a really hard week in terms of my mental health. And at first I kind of just thought I was in like a funk, or maybe it was hormonal or something. But then it's just been kind of a rough week. There have been a few different things that have gone on that I think have contributed to that. I also think some of it is just sort of the natural sort of cycle of ups and downs of things. I said as much in a WIP and Chat that I did with you guys a month or two ago, where I was feeling just very chipper, very optimistic, very light, and feeling like, you know, I feel like I'm in a place where I can take things very one day at a time and just sort of like I said, optimistic and whatever. But, depression sometimes comes in cycles and waves and whatnot. And I even said at the time, I was like, this is probably going to come back around and it's probably going to dip at some point. But I just keep taking it taking each day for what it is as much as I can and being like, well, I'll be glad for the days that I'm feeling great, and the days that I'm not, it's like I'll do what I can to practice self-care and take steps that I need to, like going to therapy, taking my meds, all that, and taking care of myself as best I can, but also giving myself grace to be like, sometimes you just got to give it time, and that's where I'm kind of feeling right now. But honestly, like, it sucks. I'm over it. And it's been a bit less than a week that I've just been feeling really, really low. I haven't felt much like diamond painting. I've just been feeling less optimistic about things, and just kind of feeling, I don't know, low, blue. Those are the words that really do come to mind. And even though I'm the first person to tell others, be yourself, be wherever you're at. Like, I want to accept you where you are at. And if you're not okay, that's okay. Like, I'm here for it. But I also have this worry that, like, when it's me that's not feeling great or not feeling like 100%, or like it can be this chipper happy person, that like that's going to be a burden to the people around me, and that it's going to be like you guys don't want to hear it, right? But like that's, I don't know, that feels like I'm being dishonest if I'm trying to sit here and pretend like, no, everything's completely fine, I'm great, everything's great, we're all great. No, that's just not the reality of things all the time. So I'm okay. There's nothing to be super worried about or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, just not having, this past week hasn't been my favorite, just in terms of how I've been feeling. And like I said, just trying to practice some self-care, not try to like be in denial of the fact, like not trying to be like, no, I'm not blue, or I'm not having a hard time. It's like, no, because that can kind of make it last longer sometimes. Sometimes it's just, yeah, okay, I'm accepting that this is the way that I'm feeling. Now I want to try to move through it as best I can. And just practicing a lot of kindness to myself. I've also found that one of the things that's been really important is to really nurture the friendships and the people that can just be okay with me when I'm not at 100%. My tendency when I'm struggling with depression is to hermit. And if you struggled with your mental health in some way, that like your mind can say really, really awful things to you. And even if they're not true, and having people that are willing to accept you like in your messiness, and are willing to just be like, it's okay if you hermited, like I'm here and I'll be here when you're ready, and I'll check in on you from time to time, make sure like, but it's okay if you don't text back. And they're there, and that's so reassuring. And it's the kind of like those, I don't know, I guess you kind of got to find the people that give you what you need when you're going through those hard times, because life's not always going to be unicorns and rainbows. And yeah, so I've been really thankful for friendships and for people that are just willing to accept me when I feel like I am a burden, or when I feel like I can't, like when I feel like I have nothing to give. Yeah. So I'd encourage you to do the same. Even though I know that can be a lot easier said than done. But yeah. Anyway, that was kind of heavy. I can't help but apologize for that being kind of heavy. But I've had a few of you over the years mention that you feel like it's made a difference for you personally to hear someone talk about, just in a more honest and candid way, about just mental health struggles and being honest about when it's messy, and when it's hard. And so that's what I'm kind of leaning into, is that I hope that this is the kind of thing that maybe it helps someone feel a little more seen and a little bit less alone. That said, we will move on to chat about other things, but I don't, like I said, it just was going to feel very disingenuous if I was going to try to just sit here and be like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's off. Nothing's wrong. I was like, I wanted to check and see, because I can tell. Okay, that was 13. This one's 18. Okay, this one's going to need a big one too. Okay. So, what else has been going on? This past week has also, I think, probably been a little bit off because Micah's been sick all week. What started as a GI bug that I know that I shared about with you guys last week's WIP and Chat turned into like primarily a respiratory bug. I took him to the doctor on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday. Because he just had this low-grade fever that wouldn't quit, and this cough that was getting worse. And she basically was like, I'm pretty sure this is a virus. You know, I don't see any like red flags in terms of like in his ears and his throat, anything like that. She did prescribe an inhaler to see if that could help with just with how his cough was sounding. Now, I have kiddos that have special needs. I have 2 autistic kiddos, and that means a lot of, and it looks a variety of different ways. One of the main ways that it looks for Micah is that he has a lot of sensory sensitivities, and he also has a lot of really negative associations with certain things like medical, like specifically with his ears, because he had a lot of ear infections as a baby and a toddler, and eventually had enough ear infections to have tubes put in his ears, but has always been very sensitive with things surrounding his ears, with things related to taking medicine because of, you know, having to work through taking antibiotics so often as a young kid. So it's tough. And so when the doctor said, I'm going to prescribe this inhaler, and along with I forget what the name of the equipment is. It's like a chamber with a mask where instead of, you know, a kid or even an adult, because adults can use these too, having to like put an inhaler in their mouth and use an inhaler correctly that way, it's like you attach the inhaler to this chamber, which attaches to this mask, and you spray the inhaler into this thing, and they just breathe in the mask, and it's easier than them having to put an inhaler in their mouth, right? So I was nervous, just thinking, okay, how's this gonna go? It was a piece of cake. Thank goodness. I told Micah that it was a superhero mask, and for whatever reason, he loved that, and it clicked with him, and he is just, it's no big deal to him. Absolutely no big deal whatsoever. And we've been able to do it basically every 4 hours when he's been awake. He doesn't seem to be coughing a ton at night. I'm doing like a vaporizer in his room to kind of add some humidity to the air and hopefully help him sleep a little easier. But the inhaler seems to be giving him some relief, but he's still coughing quite a lot. The fever is gone at this point, thankfully, but I don't love this cough. And he had to miss all of summer school last week, and we're gonna keep him home probably again tomorrow, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and call the doctor's office just to be like, this cough is getting like worse, or just it's not getting better. Best case scenario is it's not improving at all. And we're having mixed luck with the inhaler, and his appetite's still kind of So I don't love it. I don't love it. There's a lot of trash in this bag. I'll show you after I get this last drill out. Come on. There we go. You guys see all those little like plastic bits in there? Yeah. Anyway, so that's been this past week. So I've had Micah home a lot. He's been pretty low energy and just kind of chilling on the couch for the most part, which is very unlike him. It's one of the reasons you can really tell he's sick. His fever did get high enough though last week that I had to finally be like, okay, we need to take something for this instead of just letting it ride. But that's a huge ordeal too. So I was spent forever trying to talk him through just like taking it normally, and he was not having it at all until I finally, I don't know what made me think of this. I put a little dab of it on my finger. I was like, Micah, lick my finger. He licked my finger and he was like, it's good. And I was like, okay, now will you take this medicine? He's like, yeah. And I was like, he's like, can I put it one more on your finger? Did it again. He licked my finger. He's like, it's delicious. I'm like, okay. Half an hour later. But whatever. Just glad we found something to kind of help break that, because he couldn't. I don't know what exactly it was. I don't know if it was something about it was like an unknown, or because he's had this before. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But we figured it out. That's the important part. It's hard sometimes, trying to figure out how to navigate look, any parents of any kiddos, it's absolutely hard to navigate when your kids are sick and make decisions surrounding that, I'm sure. My only experience is with kids that have some extra needs. And so trying to take all of those like needs into account and trying to figure out sort of how to speak their language and address like what their concerns are, even when they don't know how to put it into words, trying to guess what those concerns are and knowing when to push something, like when is it like we need to do this for the sake of your actual physical health, and how do we navigate this. And man, it is hard sometimes. I just really, really hope that I'm helping my kids feel like taking care of my kids, but also just helping them feel like really safe and heard and taken care of. It's hard sometimes to know, like, am I making the right decisions? Am I making the right calls? But I like to think that we're all just doing the best that we can. And we're not going to get it right all the time, but hopefully we get it right more often than we don't. And yeah, so that's been this week and weekend, really. Connor and Adam went to go see the new Superman movie today, and I will maybe try to sneak out and see it sometime this week. And they liked it. Connor said he really enjoyed the dog, Crypto. And Adam said that the dog had some like scout personality traits to him. We have a almost 6-month-old puppy named Scout, who is a delightful little mix puppy that we don't know what all's in there. We think Mom was a blue heeler. Dad, we have no idea, but he's quite the handful. He's all puppy right now, which makes sense. He's 5.5 months old. But I guess that was Connor's favorite part of the movie, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, cats, the cat and dog canvases are especially apt because we have one cat and one dog. So it was like team cats, team dogs. Connor saw the little notepad where I was tallying up the votes. He was like, Mom, why are you counting up towards like a cat or a dog? And he sounded very concerned about it. And I was like, oh buddy, it's okay. And I was explaining, I was like, look, there's this diamond painting kid. I was trying to decide, 1 second, that one was 18. Where's the 310? How much was in the 310? I was trying to decide which one to work on. And so I had people vote, and one of them was a dog canvas and one of them was a cat canvas. He was like, oh, okay. I was like, it's okay, buddy. It's not like we're voting which of our pets we like best or anything. Right, I'm going to spill over into this one. This is just going to be a chaos kid up situation. So yeah, I'll hopefully get to go see that movie. Connor's had a pretty chill week. He's managed to stay healthy, which is great because you never know when one kid gets sick is the other going to catch it. And thankfully, so far, we haven't had that this summer. In general, I feel like my kids have been much healthier this year than in past years. Like, are we finally out of the toddler, preschooler era of getting sick? In spite of, Micah having this bug that I'm sure he caught at summer school. It's like, well, it's still... There were a couple of years there. I'm sure if you guys were watching my WIP and Chats a couple of years ago, I felt like we were sick a lot. Like a lot. But yeah, this year so far, we've done pretty well. Knock on wood. Something else we did this week. I think I don't know. I never remember for sure if I mentioned things in past videos or not. But Adam and I went to go see the comedian Kristen Key this past week. Adam's parents came up and watched the kids on Wednesday night. The kids love seeing the grandparents, and Scout, oh my gosh, Scout loves Adam's since he gets so excited when he sees them that he always has like a little piddle accident. And it's, I'm sure hopefully he'll grow out of it a bit, but he just gets so excited. It's so cute. But the show was great. It was just what I feel like we needed. And in the midst of kind of having a low week, it was a highlight. It was very much a pick me up. I'm going to put this one over here. So we laughed ridiculously hard, and she's on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So if you're looking for a comedian to follow, and she's like touring around the country right now. But she was hysterical. She has like a guitar, and it's improv style too. Like she has some like specific bits, and then she'll also do like Q&A and actually do some improv based on questions people ask her. And some she'll like sing songs and stuff. It was great. It was really great. And we got lucky in some ways because we were using a little bit of leftover like anniversary gift, like wedding anniversary gift money to go. And we went ahead and got like a couple of drinks and an appetizer. And then it actually ended up working out in a way because they made a mistake with our food order, like our appetizer order. And it kept getting delayed, and they started like bring us out the wrong thing. And they ended up comping our appetizer and our first round, like our drinks. And Adam had gotten like one other drink, and then we'd gotten dessert. And so we just paid for like one drink and the dessert. So we like double tipped because we were like, oh my gosh, they didn't have to do that. But it ended up worked out okay for us. And we didn't ask for that. We weren't like making a fuss, but it was certainly a very nice gesture of them. So Irvine Improv, you guys, if you're in Southern California, they've had a lot of different comedians, a lot of names you might recognize go through there. So I don't know. We'd go back there though. It's the first time we'd been there. So we got to do that on Wednesday night, which was nice. And let's see what else. Pup date, Scout update. I mentioned a little bit about how he's getting a little bit older, but he's still in this kind of digging phase. And a couple of you shared tips in last week's WIP and Chat, which I appreciate. And so feel free to continue to share tips if any of you have tips that didn't share them previously. But yeah, there's a couple of spots by like our fence that I realized Scout had decided to really try to dig. He hasn't gone for the plant again since I like really scolded him over it, but he just kind of migrated over to other spots. So I'm wondering, like, is there something like some kind of what's like behavioral need or some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like something that he's needing. It's like stimulation, I think is what I'm looking for, or something that we're not giving him. And I'm trying to figure out what are some ways that we can meet that need instead of just telling him like, no. But it's like, we don't want to now. He like loves to be outside, but it's like, we almost don't want to leave him out there for too long because he just goes out there and starts looking for trouble. And I'm like, I need you to not be destructive because that's not going to work. But I also want to find ways to like redirect. Also with him being 5.5 months old, that means he's almost old enough to get fixed. And so we have some really great like low cost clinics near here, and there are also like you can get vouchers for neuter and spay, and so we might look into that too. But I want to make sure we're doing that at the right time, and hopefully he'll have a quick and easy recovery from that. We'll give it like a little bit longer and then we'll get it scheduled, but it's absolutely on the plan. The other thing we're running into, I feel like, especially this week, is it feels like all of a sudden he started shedding a ton. And I don't know why, but I didn't, like when I met this litter of puppies, like when I saw the mom and stuff, I didn't really expect them necessarily to be super shedding dogs. But oh my gosh, there's white fur everywhere. And I'm like, a white dog and a black cat, it doesn't matter what we're wearing, it's going to have fur on it. So stocking up on lint brushes, and I'm just upping how often I'm vacuuming, because I'm like, I'm going to have to vacuum really regularly or this is going to get out of control. And I wonder if that's also possibly contributing to some of my allergy feelings that I've been having. You know what also just occurred to me just now, I don't know why, is I wonder if some of my, I'm kind of going back to earlier in the WIP and Chat, I wonder if some of my feelings of like depression are legitimately like reverse SAD, reverse SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, which typically affects people in the winter months. That's when you mostly hear about it, but I swear that I have it for summer. Like, I really don't love the heat. I really have like an aversion to it. I don't like sweating. I'm more headache prone when it's hot, and actually I don't like being outside, so I'm not like getting that vitamin D and fresh air as much. And I mean, I still will anyway, like we'll take the kids swimming and try to go out for walks and, be active and stuff, but I just don't like it. And I wonder, is that maybe some of what's going on? Because we really have had a lot hotter weather lately. And yeah, not like in just a whiny, like, oh, I don't like the heat way, but like, no, I actually think that this affects my mental health the same way that cold weather affects some other people's mental health. I don't know. I don't think I'm the only one that has that when it comes to summer. But anyway, sorry, random tangent. Dog shedding. Yeah, he's probably shedding too because it's summer. But yeah, my vacuum's gonna be getting a workout. It's like I can go just 3 days in between vacuuming and still fill up the canister with dog hair. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's the pup date. That's the pup date. Now, as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, reading wise, this was not the week, I guess. I was just not feeling starting Hero of Ages yet, which I'm bummed. Like, I'm sure that my Libby hold on the book is going to be up soon, and the ebook, and I'm just going to pick up an Audible version. I have an Audible credit that I'll use at this point, because I really want to read it. I'm excited to find out what happens, and I've heard a lot of people that are Brandon Sanderson fans say that this was their favorite book in the Mistborn trilogy, like the original Mistborn series. I've also heard that it like destroyed them. So I'm scared, but also hoping that it's good. Like, people are still saying it's like their favorite. So I want to get to it, but it's like I don't want to force it or go for it when I'm feeling in like kind of a crummy headspace. Then on like the reading side of things, I was so annoyed because I don't know if any of you guys, I know some of you do, but I all the time we'll read on Archive of Our Own, which is like a fan fiction hub like website that it occasionally will go down. And I was literally on like the second to last chapter of like 170 word fic, and I couldn't fall asleep last night, and I went to like the next chapter button and it just, nothing was happening, and I was like, oh no. And then sure enough, I go and go to like the Archive of Our Own subreddit, and it's like Archive of Our Own is down. I was like, of course. Second to last chapter. You should always click the just like complete work button instead of chapter by chapter, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So that's just Archive of Our Own woes. Any of you can relate. It's always, why is it always in the middle of the night when it's like, I want to be reading so I can fall asleep? Okay, watching. Well, I have good news. Adam watched K-pop Demon Hunters with me the other night because it was his first time seeing it. I think he probably in large part did it because he knows just having kind of a blue day, which I was like, you're such a good one. I had been trying not to hound him about it. I was like, I kind of need you to watch this because it's become like half of my identity at this point, and I want to send you memes. I want to talk to you about it. So I want you to watch it, but I also don't want to hound him about it and then it becomes a thing. We talked about this last week's WIP and Chat, right? So he did, though, the other night, and he liked it. And I didn't expect him to like become obsessed with it like I am at all. Like, I didn't expect it to be that level, but I was glad to not hear him be like, it was mid. He liked it, and it was fun. We're also talking about, I'm a huge fan of the Sandman TV series, and the second season, they were releasing it in 2 parts, right? I was just going to wait until the second part dropped, and Adam was like, well, we're going to watch it together, right? I was like, oh yeah, we're going to watch it together. So we might as well go ahead and start part 1, because it's going to take us a while. If we're watching it together, we'll watch it after the kids go to bed and stuff to then get to part 2. And there's like, I know that there's really difficult discussions to be had surrounding like art and artist and how problematic, like, I don't even want to like say his name, the author is, like, and I don't like, I kind of handle it case by case a little bit. It's like, well, this was already created, like he stepped back from it. Netflix has already said they're not making another season. And I don't know. I think that wherever you land on it, like if you're like, I can't enjoy this anymore, or on principle, I'm not going to even like watch this or give it any watch time, I think that's completely valid. And maybe I'm in the wrong here. Like, for example, I'm not this way when it comes to consuming anything Harry Potter anymore. I used to be able to still enjoy that, and I don't judge people who still can, but like I've gotten to a point where it's like I just feel like everything Harry Potter has been kind of tainted for me at this point, and I don't know. I let it be what it was for my childhood, but I don't tend to actively consume anything related to it as much anymore. But anyway, that's like a way, way, way more difficult and deeper topic than I should try to get into in the last couple minutes of my WIP and Chat. So sorry, I shouldn't have even really brought it up. I don't know. It just was on my brain, and so it came out. But okay, so there's watching. Listening to, my kids keep requesting to listen to the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack, and I love it so much. It's kid-friendly movie, kid-friendly soundtrack, and it's so catchy. It's so catchy, and it's so fun. Like, because Micah will even request specific ones. Like, he specifically was like, watch Soda Pop on the TV when he was feeling sick the other day, and I was like, yes, one of us. And we even put it on earlier, just during the day, and Micah and I watched it together while Adam and Connor were at Superman. So that's my whole listening to for the foreseeable future. As far as what I have coming for you guys videos wise this week, I have a belated first look to get to you guys from over a week ago at this point. I have Catnap to share with you, and so that'll be coming out. I have a couple of small shop unboxings. I'll probably pick one of those to do, maybe a post review. Excuse me, I had a hiccup and now I'm about to yawn. Apparently I'm at the end of my WIP and Chat rope. I don't know exactly what else I'll have out this week. I want to try to do maybe something that's slightly more fun and creative, but I don't know what that is yet. I don't know. TBD. I should do a logbook flip through. Halfway through the year logbook flip through. Should I do... I don't know. There's some maybe different ideas I could kind of kick around, but TBD. We got almost halfway through kitting this up. 80 colors in this one, static in every bag. I'm not surprised it's taking me a little bit longer, but you can kind of get a sense for the colors in this one. Let me dump this one out and I'll show you at least. There's a ton of special drills. I think they're all, do they call them galaxy dust or nebulous dust? All these companies call them something different. Interestingly though, I found out at the retreat that it's apparently like Diamond Art Club's process for how they make fairy dust diamonds is proprietary. Like the very specific way that they do them is patented or proprietary. I don't know what the correct word is, but that's why, like, if you compare fairy dust diamonds to some of these other like fine glitter dust diamonds, like including the ones that, like DPO sparklers have, they're slightly different. And I just thought that was really interesting. But anyway, we have these like, well, there's some ABs in here, and then we have some of these ND, it must be nebulous dust, where they have that like fine glitter coating. There's mostly blues, there's a purple too. So yay, special drills, should be fun. But anyway, I'm gonna keep on working on kitting this up. This isn't too hard on my shoulders, so I think I can maybe get the rest of this kitted up tonight and then call it as far as diamond painting stuff goes. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, we got to go with a cat emoji, right? This isn't a calico. Is this a tortoise shell? I think. or technically, I mean, the colors are kind of calico, but aren't calicos usually a little more patchy? I had a calico cat. That was my very first kitten growing up, was actually a calico. But this is so cute. I'm excited to get to this one, you guys. Yeah, let me know how you're doing, what you've been up to, what you were working on while we chatted today, and feel free to check out the other videos I've had going up on my channel this past week, like the Drills and Chills announcement, some unboxings, and yeah, if you don't want to miss my other diamond painting videos this week, be sure to subscribe. Generally, I feel like if you make it to the end of my WIP and Chats, I have a feeling you might like it here, if nothing else for my other weekly WIP and Chats on Monday mornings, and I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. So either way, though, thank you so much for spending some time with me today and for letting me share vulnerably, as always. I appreciate so much that you have very, very sincerely helped me create this space where that kind of, like, that's just sort of, that's okay, you know, for us to just not be okay. So, yeah, hope you guys are doing well, though. And just keep taking it one day at a time. Take care of yourself as much as you can this week. And yeah, I hope you have a week that is as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.